Okay, so this was one example which we saw yesterday to calculate the square root of a number. We'll look at some very simple examples. Also, we looked at one program to calculate the average. Yes, so that was also a simple program where we learned how to calculate the sum of three numbers, then average, and then we learned about typecasting. Yes, explicit typecasting and implicit typecasting. Okay. Today we will go through some different programs. Let us try to. Okay, I'm just. I'm writing the program description here. So this program is to calculate the area of a rectangle, suppose. Okay, area of a rectangle. See, this line that I have given, that is known as the documentation line. Okay, documentation line. Documentation line means what your program will do, you have just defined it on top. Okay, just as you write the topic at the top of every note, yes, you write down the topic. So likewise, whenever you are writing a program, so that any other person, okay, if some person sits down to read your program, by looking at this line, the person will understand that, okay, so this program is about calculation of area of a rectangle. Okay, so this is known as a documentation line. Fine. And this is not a part of the program. Okay, this is not a part of the program. It just helps the reader to read or understand what this program is all about. Okay, the compiler is not going to compile this statement. So whenever you are giving any statement, extra statement to define what your program is about or what your instruction is about, so those lines we call as the comment line. So you give to backslash and then you write it. Okay, give to backslash and write it, then it becomes a comment line. Okay, and this means that this will not be a part of your program. It is just to describe what your program will do. Just wait. Okay, now we will start with the program, starting with the header
Ma'am,
line.
এইটো কেনেকৈ লিখা
কোনটো
এই ওপৰৰ লাইনটো
টাইপ কৰিছো মই
নহয় a program to calculate the area
here I have typed that in the keyboard.
মেম এনেকৈ নাইচোন প্ৰগ্ৰামে হৈ যায়
Uh-huh.
মেম এনেকৈ আনাইচোন
কিয় নাহিব whatever you type
মেম
GT
আকৌ স্লেশ দিব লাগিব নেকি দুডাল
স্লেশ যদি নিদিয়া এনেকুৱা হ'ব তেতিয়া তোমাৰ এৰৰ দেখাব ওকে তুমি স্লেশ
আচ্ছা
দিবা
অ
ডাবল স্লেশ
অ হয়
সেইটোতো কৈছো you have to give double slash. Okay, for single line you have to apply double slash, and suppose you want to comment one paragraph মই দেখাই দিম বাৰু সেইটো বস্তু মই দেখাই দিম. Okay, anyways we are starting with the program. See, we are to calculate the area of a rectangle. Now you know the objective, so just begin with the program. So the first header file that you have to include is stdio.h. Okay, next int main. So we are to calculate the area of a rectangle, and you know what is the area of a rectangle? Length into breadth. Yes, so for that we will be requiring two variables to store the length and breadth, values of length and breadth. So accordingly we will take them as float values. Okay, and let the length be taken as L and breadth be taken as B. And to store the result of the area obtained after multiplication, you need another variable to store the area. So let us take it as area. Okay, let us take it as rect area. Okay, rectangle area. Okay, fine. So we have taken three variables. Now we are to give as we are to give the inputs to L and B. Yes, so for that first we will write the printf statement, because we would want to display a message on the output screen asking the user to enter a number. Okay, enter the length. Okay, say give a colon and close it. Okay, so whatever has been written inside the double quotes, that will be displayed on the output screen. Fine, close it. Next, to give the input, we write the scanf statement. What was the format specifier for float? It was %f. Yes. So comma, then %l. Yes. So this is how we will give the input for length. Now you want to give input for the breadth. So you can directly copy paste it and make it. However you write it, you can type it or you can copy paste it. I'm simply copy pasting it and making the necessary changes. Okay. Enter the breadth. So this is the breadth. Now we will calculate the area. Again, if you want to write another statement for description, suppose give a comment line like this and write formula to calculate the area. So what is the formula to calculate the area? It is L into B. Yes. So rect area equal to L into B. Okay. So this is the formula. This is the program part of the. This is an instruction. This is not an instruction. You have simply defined what this is. Okay. So this is just the formula to calculate the area. So whenever you are writing additional statements, make sure you write it with two backslashes. Now, once your area is calculated, okay, once you give the values for L and B and then you use the formula, so it will be multiplied and the result that you get will be stored in rect area. And now we want to display the result. Okay, so to display, you know that we have to make use of the printf statement. So another printf statement. So here we will write area of the rectangle is, okay, %f, close it, okay, and everything will be displayed as given except for in place of %f, what do you want to be get displayed? You want to get the rectangular area displayed. So here that is why you have to mention that variable which holds the value. Okay, this. Okay, and because we would want the this outputs to be displayed on separate lines, so what you can do is either give a /n here at the end, or you can give it here also at the beginning. Okay, let me just give it at the end just before closing the double quotes. Okay. So this is the program. Now get ch return 0. Now we have to save it. Go to file, save as. This is area. So area dot C. Okay, CPP is for C++. I use the same editor for C++ also. So when you are saving programs for C only, then you have to give .c. This is the file extension. Okay, so save it. Now your name got saved with area.c. Now we will try to first compile. Compile means we will try to check for errors, if any. If there are no errors, then it will do the compilation process, and then we will try to run. So to compile, you have the options here. Okay, this is for compile. So you can directly press it, or you can also go for shortcut, which is Alt plus F9. And for running the program, you have Control plus F9. Okay, you can also choose it from here, or you can directly use the shortcut. So first we will compile the program to check if there are any errors. As you can see, my program is error free. There are no errors. That means it can directly be translated to machine language now. Okay, now we will run the program. That is, we will execute the program and check for the result. Okay, so what is the first message that has been displayed? It has asked the user, okay, to enter the length. So because I have taken float values, you can take any value. Okay, suppose I take the length to be 3. Next, I am to enter the breadth. So let's say the breadth is 4.2. Okay, so what should be the answer? It should be 12.6. So let us see. Yes, it is correct. Area of the rectangle is 12.59999, which is equivalent to 12.6 if you round up. Yes, so this is the appropriate answer. Have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, again in this example itself, we will try to calculate the area of a say triangle. Okay, in this example itself, suppose I want to calculate the area of a triangle. Now for that, what is the area? Half into base into height. Yes, half into base into height. So for that you have to again take some extra variables to store the base. So let me take base b, then for height let me take h. Okay, and to store the result let me take another variable which is triangle area. Okay, try area, let me just shorten it. Okay, try area. Okay, so this is the variable where I will be storing the area of the triangle obtained after using the formula. Okay, so the same thing, fine. So this was for calculating the area of the rectangle. Now you can start from here also to calculate the area of the triangle, or you can give all the inputs together here, just like you have given input for length, breadth of the rectangle. So just after this, you can also enter the inputs for the breadth and the height and base. Okay, oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. Listen, here I have already taken B for breadth. So this B you cannot take for base because it is the same. So you have to make the change here. Okay, so make it BASC. Fine, BASC is for base. Okay, so as I said, wherever you want to write, just make sure that the declaration, the variables must always be declared at the beginning. Okay, whenever you are using any variables inside the program, you have to always do it at the beginning. Okay, the rest of the statements you can write it wherever you want to. Okay, just here, just as I have given all the, I have tried to read the variables here. Yes, so likewise you can also read the values for base and height here itself, or suppose you want to separate the two sections. First you want to only look at, concentrate on the area of the rectangle, and now you would like to concentrate on the area of the triangle, so that also you can do. I'm simply copy pasting these statements again. Okay, I'm not typing. Let me just give a comment line another. So here we will try to calculate. This is for, okay, so for this is for triangle. Okay, triangle, and say this is for rectangle. So I have separated the parts. For, okay, and the initial description. So here a rectangle and now so this, the first part is for the rectangle. Okay, now this is to calculate the area of here. The second part is for the triangle, so here we will concentrate only on the triangle. So enter the, first we will enter the base. So it has been taken as BASE. Okay, and enter the height. So height has been taken as H only. Okay, next what we will do is, um, again I'm copy pasting this because it's the same thing. Okay, next we will try to find a formula to calculate area of the triangle. Okay, so what is the area of a triangle? It is half. Okay, you can either take it like this, half into base into height, or you can do one thing. You can, instead of 1 by 2, you can directly use 0.5. That way also you can use it. Okay, you can either use 1 by 2 or you can use 0.5. So this will give us the area of the triangle. Okay, so this is the variable which we use to store the area of the triangle here. Fine. Now area of the rectangle is, oh sorry, here again you have to make the changes accordingly. Triangle is, it's the same thing. The rest is all same. I'll again save it. Okay, because it's a saved file already, you have to simply save it. The name has already been given to this file. So this is the entire program now. First we concentrated only on calculating area of the rectangle, and in the second part we have area of the triangle. Now we will again compile it. Okay, and run it directly. Enter the length. So this is for the triangle. Okay, length, enter the length. Suppose okay, I am giving the same length. and breadth also for the triangle, sorry, for the rectangle. Okay, see, sorry, I forgot to use slash n. Okay, last you see, enter the base. So suppose the base is 4, enter the height. Say the height is 6. Okay, so half into 4 into 6 is 12. See, there's a mistake. Area of the triangle is 0. It came out to be 0. So, एक minute, huh? The answer is correct. Okay, the problem is here, actually see, when you make use of the operators like into, divide, okay, we have gone through the arithmetic operators. So just as in maths you have the BODMAS rule. Okay, there's a rule, there's a hierarchy. So bracket comes first, then off, then division, multiplication, addition, and lastly subtraction. So here is also a hierarchy of the arithmetic operators. So if you write half, okay, there it was showing some problems, therefore I have given it 0.5. Also you can do one thing, instead of using 0.5 you can also do one thing, you can directly use base into height, because half means what, divided by 2, right? So I can simply use divided by 2 also. This will also work fine, this has to work fine. Just check. Okay, so this is also working fine. Okay, so the initial formula that I used, the initial way used, which I used to write, then you will get some other output. So either you can use like this. Okay, half means something divided by 2, 1 divided by 2. So here we already have the numerator, so directly you can divide by 2, or you can directly use 0.5 for half. Okay, so you can use it in either way. Now you have seen calculation of area of rectangles and triangles in one program. Suppose what, okay, now suppose you want to only check the area of the rectangle and not the area of the triangle. Okay, suppose you want to check only the rectangle and not the triangular area. So one thing you can do is you can simply delete the part. But why to delete? क्योंकि इतना मेहनत से लिखा है, फिर से क्यों delete करना है? Okay, but problem is if you again run the program, again triangle will get displayed. So what you can do is you can also put that section in comment. Okay, that means just as we can comment a single line using double backslashes, you can also do the same for paragraph also. Paragraph means a sequence of instructions also. Okay, so for that you will not use two double backslash. Two double backslash is for a single statement. If you are giving two double backslash, then it will be for single statement. So for every statement you have to apply this. So let it, it will be very time consuming. So what you can do is, because your triangular area starts from here and ends at here, okay, you have to just look at the beginning and start and the end point of that segment. Okay, so what you can do is give a backslash, give a star. Okay, see, as you can see, just after giving the star, all the rest of the part became blue. Okay, and because you would want the get ch and return 0 to execute, yes or no, otherwise it will display an error. So you have to just come towards the end of the triangle, okay, here, and just use this symbol in the reverse way. That means now we will first write star and then we will write backslash. Okay, now as you can see, my entire part, this entire part got commented. That means this will not be considered for execution now. Okay, just like for the single statements here, just as these statements were not considered for execution, now this entire part will not be considered for execution even if you run it. Okay, so likewise we can put different sections of the program in comment so that we can check for the other problems in the program. Because see, your program is small, okay, this is a very small program, but it might happen that your program consists of say hundreds and thousands of instructions. Okay, now suppose there are many errors in your program, because it will be a big program, it is likely that there will be very much errors in your program. Now to check errors, where the error is, okay, if suppose altogether you got 20 errors, then is it possible to just go through all the instructions one by one and correct the errors? No. Then what you can do is you can put the different parts of the program in comment section, and then you can just concentrate on one small section and try to solve the error in that part first. Okay, so these are the reasons why we use this. Okay, so now I have commented this section. So now if you see the instructions which are highlighted, those are only for the rectangle. Okay, and we don't have any code for triangle for the time being. So now you can just run it. See, 3 4. Okay, this is the area of the rectangle. And see, so this is how the you can put segments of the code also in comment section like this. Okay, you can use comments like this. Fine. Have you understood this program?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, we will look at another program. Say to calculate the all are the same. Say to calculate the temperature. Okay, we will try to convert temperature in degree Fahrenheit to degree Celsius. Okay, so let that be one more example. Okay. So this is a program to calculate, sorry, to convert temperatures in, where's the degree symbol now? Anyways, the degree is not in my, I don't have any degree symbol. Anyways, in Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay, using the formula. So I'm giving the formula here. C equal to 5 divided by 9 bracket F minus 32. Okay, so this is the formula to convert Fahrenheit, okay, temperature given in Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay, so using this formula, now we will do the conversion. So as given in the program, you will be given the Fahrenheit. Okay, you will be given the temperature in Fahrenheit scale. You have to convert it to Celsius using the formula. So let's begin with the program. / include stdio.h. Okay. Say int main. Okay, again I will take the temperature as decimal. Okay, because temperatures are usually found in decimal, so let us take it as decimal. I will be using float value. Say float of small f and small c. Okay. Degree in Fahrenheit. So first you will be entering the degree in the Fahrenheit scale. Okay. So this is for reading the temperature. Now you have to use the formula to do the conversion. So C is equal to 5 by 9. Okay, so one thing you can do is you can write it this way. 5 into, because 9 is in the denominator. If you can see the formula, 9 is in the denominator. Yes, so you can directly write it this way: 5 to F minus 32. This is a very big problem. you see. Okay, so this was the program. Can you view the entire program? Actually, I'm having a different window on top of the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So let us just execute and check. Okay, enter the degree in Fahrenheit. Suppose I take 105. The answer is 40.5555. So it is correct. Okay. So this is how your program would look like. Okay, it's a very simple program. You have to only use your formula. That's it. Okay. So these are very basic programs. Another program, say, let me just check. Suppose you have given, the session will end now actually. Let's do one thing. Let's end this session because I'm having this window and I'm unable to. Next, we will try to display the ASCII value of a given character. Now, what is ASCII? American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So these are some standard values which are assigned, okay, which are assigned to every character. Okay, so just as when I write A, so A has got an ASCII value of. So it depends whether you are using uppercase A or smaller case A. So depending on that, they have some associated numbers assigned to them. Small a, value for small a is 97. Value for small capital A is 65. Okay, so depending C uses the ASCII standard. Okay, C uses the ASCII standard. So whatever character you type, you will be giving, such as if you type A, okay, then for the constant A, small a, the value will be, corresponding value will be 97. Okay, so that means ultimately at the end it has to be converted to machine language. So there must be some decimal number for that. Okay, so whenever you are using characters, so the characters are converted to their corresponding ASCII values. Fine. So if you write A, the value small is, corresponding value for small a is 97, then that 97 will be converted to its equivalent binary number. So likewise, values are interpreted. Okay, C uses ASCII standard. Now we will look at a program to display the ASCII value for a given character. So any character. Okay, for any character that you find it on the keyboard, they have some associated ASCII values. Okay. Now, I will explain it. Let me just check the output once. See, here this program is to find the value, okay, integer value for the given character. So you have to give a character as input. So that is why, since it is of character, since you are giving character, so it is of, you have to take the data type as character, okay, and the variable is ch here. Okay, then next what you have is, you have to first enter the character. So for that you have given a message, enter the character to the user. Now, once this is entered, okay, once this is displayed, the next statement you see here, ch equal to get che. Now you see this. What do you see? What is this? How do you? How does it look like? It somewhat looks like get ch. Yes or no? So, firstly, it is a function because we have brackets just after the name. So it's obvious that it is a function. And as we know that a function has a body, but here we don't have a body, which means what? It is a built-in function. Okay. This get che is a built-in function, just like get ch function. And the job of get ch and get che are the same. That is to get the character from keyboard. Okay. Here I have not used scanf. Anything can be used. You can also use scanf for this to input the value. Okay. Because we are using character, so for that your format specifier will be %c. Okay, and then you can simply use %ch. If you use scanf like this is also done. This is, you understand this? Yes, your format specifier for character data type will be %c, and the variable is you have used as ch. So this is a simple scanf statement. This, using this statement also you can read the value. But however, I wanted to show you something else. That is why I'm just keeping it in comment section. Now you see, the same thing that this scanf statement is doing can be done using the get che function also. Because the get ch or the get che does the same thing. That means to get the character from the keyboard. That means you have whatever character you press, whatever key you press, that will be considered as a character. Okay, that will be taken as input. Okay, so the function of get ch and get che are the same. Why do we have an e at the end? Because you know that you have seen when we check the output on the, okay, when we check the result on the output screen, okay, at the end we press one key. Why do we press one key? That is actually needed for the getch function, because the getch function wants the user to press the key at the end so that we can exit the monitor output screen and we can come back to the editor screen. Okay, so but when you will press the key, in case of getch, whichever key you have pressed, the result will not be shown to you. You will not see it will not, whichever key you have pressed, that will not be displayed on the output screen. Okay, it is just that just after the entire program is done executing, okay, at the end, just before return 0, we use getch, because firstly we want the screen to be held so that we can view the result. That is why we use getch. It is like just like a pause, and we can exit the output screen only after we press a key. Okay, and that is taken care by the getch function. So the getch function wants the user to press a key from the keyboard so that it can be taken as an input and you can come back to the editor, okay, to this particular screen. You can exit the output screen. The same thing can be done using getch